Eugen Martinez of Colombia, much decorated fighter, and got past him, not comfortably I wouldn't say, but he won that fight. And what he really wants to do here is break his kind of bronze medal jinx. He got a bronze in the World Championships 2 years ago, a bronze in the Asian Championships earlier this year, and a bronze in the Olympic Games. Now, those are fantastic achievements, but he needs, I think, to convert it into something else. That's what he's been saying all week. SAENGPHET of Thailand is nothing like as experienced as his opponent on this kind of stage. He's a young fighter. He's only 19 years old. So this is a terrific achievement to get this far, quite honestly. Good wins against Carlos Ramirez, particularly Miguel Ramos on a split against the Venezuelan, an aggressive come-forward fighter with a bit of craft about him. 228 went his way, a point deduction in round 2, so plenty to overcome there, and then a win against Masoud Yusufzadeh. Sometimes you talk about matchups and you think about one fighter having nothing to lose. I never really buy it, because at this stage there's always something to lose, but certainly there's less pressure on the young Thai. I think that most people will be expecting BIBOSSINOV to do the business here. We'll see. He's in the red, SAENGPHET in the blue. If you've not seen him, and you might not have, if you've not been watching over the last couple of weeks, he's a good fighter, obviously, to get this far. He's rangy, throws a good 1-2. Not a really strong jab on him, I wouldn't say, but he's quite good at mid-range as well. He's got a bit of everything, something in his locker, pretty much wherever he needs it. So here we go. There goes the bell. BIBOSSINOV, Kazakhstan in the red, SAENGPHET Thailand in the blue. BIBOSSINOV there, as you'll see, boxing out of the southpaw stance. Holds those gloves around about kind of shoulder height for the most part. Just keeps that lead hand floating. SAENGPHET tries to step in and throw a right hand to the body. Right hand there from the Thai fighter. Just stepped off and to the side. Through the right hand down the middle. BIBOSSINOV looks for a left to the body. SAENGPHET's made a good start here. Front foot just slipping a bit there for BIBOSSINOV. SAENGPHET with almost a big exaggerated step in, trying to get that front foot on the outside of the opponent's front foot. That's the battleground, really, in a lot of ways, with orthodox against southpaws who could get their foot on the outside. It makes it easier to keep your shape, particularly when you're throwing that backhand, whether that be your left or your right. So a minute down in his first round. SAENGPHET a little bit clumsy there as he came forward, ends up on the canvas in the neutral corner. A lot of twitching, a lot of posturing there, a little bit of feinting, and BIBOSSINOV was trying to trigger SAENGPHET there, you get the impression, and he's trying to do exactly the same thing here, and they're right on top of each other virtually. Eventually, SAENGPHET decided to throw, went with a right to the body, and this is slightly curious from BIBOSSINOV, because he's inching forward, but he's not throwing. Eventually, he throws a left hand there, right hand comes back, and BIBOSSINOV caught SAENGPHET with his right. He's looking to put that front foot pressure on BIBOSSINOV, but for me, he's waiting just a little bit too long into the final minute of round 1. This has been a tight round so far. BIBOSSINOV just short with the 1-2. Referee just giving them time to work it out themselves there. You saw BIBOSSINOV hastily get those gloves up because they parted and the referee hadn't said break, so there was no issue if SAENGPHET had just decided to let his hands go there. Maybe just slightly too close in there, BIBOSSINOV, who leans in with the head. SAENGPHET comes steaming forward. I'm not sure if that got through clean. The jab seemed like it might be a little bit short there. Right hand from SAENGPHET. Final few seconds of the round, and it's been an interesting kind of round. BIBOSSINOV looks capable of getting something done at almost any second, but for me, he's just waited a little bit too long most of the time before letting his hands go. Be interesting to see how that gets scored.
Certainly will. Both boxers enjoying success with their backhands, especially at long range. And with the scores in, well, it's a 4-1 split in favor of BIBOSSINOV. He was a man invariably looking to take centering, always looking threatening. But there's a straight right hand. That's a scoring shot to the block body by SAENGPHET. But it's been at this type of territory and it's been this type of contest over the course of 3 minutes. Lots of feinting in evidence. And punches just reaching the opponent at the end of reach. So nothing landed with real solidity, scoring punches. As both men tried to control the distance and operate at long range.
I think he's a little bit unlucky there, SAENGPHET, only to get the one card. I think he could justifiably have felt that he could have got more there. So now he needs to try and turn things around in this second round. SAENGPHET in blue, Thailand, just scoring to the body there with the right hand. BIBOSSINOV, Kazakhstan in the red. Front feet have clashed a bit, so it's got messy at times, and they clash again there, and BIBOSSINOV ends up going down. SAENGPHET just gave him a little dig as he was falling down to the canvas. Just blocking each other's lead hands, right to the body there from SAENGPHET. Well, there was some definite slapping in there, you could see it, as he was throwing that right hand, was just snatching with it rather than shooting it through. Right hand to the body there from SAENGPHET, and he's looking a bit more aggressive in this second round, but at the same time, I think slightly more open as he does it. His style has gone a little bit cruder. BIBOSSINOV never really loses that shape particularly. Looks for that left hand into the body there, the fighter in red, and again. Right to the body from SAENGPHET. I'm not sure if the instructor to stop had come by the time he landed that one. Just giving a little bit of ground there, the Thai. Better range on that 1-2 from BIBOSSINOV. The jab just got there. Right to the body from SAENGPHET. The left came back from BIBOSSINOV. SAENGPHET managed to get his gloves up. There's a jab from BIBOSSINOV, which is, again, a decent one. Nice 1-2. And then leads off with the right uppercut. He's just beginning to pick the gaps well here, the Kazakh fighter. Throws a right hook and then just slides off to his right. Left to the body. He's come forward, as I said, in more kind of aggressive fashion in this second round. SAENGPHET gets found to the body again there, and he's being picked off heading into the final minutes. It's not a one-sided round, but BIBOSSINOV, the longer it's gone on, has landed his shots, has picked his punches better. Nice 1-2 there, and then just turns that right hand over on the inside. And I think SAENGPHET, when the cards come back from round 2, is going to find himself with a lot to do in the third and final round. Just standing square there, BIBOSSINOV, keeping his opponent guessing as to what hand he's going to lead off with. Nice left to the body. And he's full of swagger here, the Kazakh fighter, into the closing stages of round 2. Nice jab, just catches SAENGPHET on the way in. Bell will go any second now. There it is, and he sort of clicked through the gears a little bit in that second round, didn't he? And that's a clear red corner round.
I agree. The deeper we got into the round, the more this man was able to showcase his considerable skill set and ring generalship. Very good performance indeed. For my money, SAENGPHET actually was scoring well, particularly with the right hand to the body in the first portion of the second round, where after conceding the first on a 4-1 split, he did get aggressive, and he's conceded the second on a 4-1 split. So 2 cards of 19 points apiece, but the other 3, 20-18 in favor of the man in red. And I think it's good value for that lead, because too much variety, too many eye-catching shots. And he put, for my money, in the closing stages of the second round, well, clear daylight between himself and his opponents. SAENGPHET, he's got a really difficult task here now, because he's going to have to apply pressure against a punch picker as adept as Saken BIBOSSINOV. Could be a tricky mission for him indeed. here in the third.
Absolutely. Third and final round. BIBOSSINOV with a commanding lead. 2 points up on 3 of the scorecards. The other 2 are level. I've had that split often. And that third card, that's the tipping point. If you've got 2 cards where you've got a lead of 2-0 and the other 3 are level, then the opponent, of course, can turn that around with a 10-9. As it is, SAENGPHET needs 10-8. I think he's going to come out and go after this as much as he possibly can, but I agree with Ron. I think that may well suit BIBOSSINOV, who's just got a good all-round game. He can get onto the front foot, but he can hang on the back foot as well if he feels that's where he's going to profit most. SAENGPHET coming forward. Maybe a little bit low with one of those. Left hand to the body there was pretty much bang on the belt line. And the referee warns him again, so he needs to be careful. If a point were to go here, then it's very much all over. Big overhand right, and then a little stab to the body with his right glove. As I've been saying, he's had a terrific tournament. Prior to this, he's got basically no elite international experience whatsoever. So to come in against somebody who's got a bronze medal in a recent Olympic Games, a bronze medal in the previous World Championship, a bronze medal earlier in the year at the Asian Championships, the gulf in experience between the two is absolutely massive. And SAENGPHET's, you know, he's getting some stuff done here. He's landing some shots. He has done in the first round and the second round. I thought the first was fairly tight. He's going to give this everything right up until the very end. BIBOSSINOV lands a short right hand there. And he's camped on the front foot here. And they end up going down to the canvas. Again, just almost in installments there. It was a slow descent into the final minute. And it's going to be Saken BIBOSSINOV who goes through to take on Roscoe Hill in the final. And that's a real good match. That is one to look forward to, as will be all of our finals, I'm sure. When you get down to the sharp end, it's nip and tuck all the way. 30 seconds. Again, just standing kind of square there previously, BIBOSSINOV. He likes to do that every now and again. It makes it very difficult to read where the next punch is coming from. It's not the kind of thing that coaches would often tell their fighters to do, but if you've got the kind of ability that he's got and you can punch off either foot and use that upper body, then it can work for you. Bell goes at the end of the third and final round, and he's broken that bronze medal hoodoo, hasn't he? He's got at least a silver here, at least $50,000 US, and great effort from SAENGPHET. Tremendous competition that he's had, but the final we've got now, Roscoe Hill and Saken BIBOSSINOV, that's mouth-watering stuff.
It most certainly is, and Saken BIBOSSINOV just showing his quality. The more we went into that contest, beaming smile on the face of the man from Kazakhstan. Let's get the official announcement, which should see Saken BIBOSSINOV announced as the winner and through to the championship final.
So BIBOSSINOV gets it by split decision. There were 2 drawn cards going into that final round, and one of them has gone the way of his opponent, and that gives us the 4 cards to 1 scoreline. Actually, a couple more have gone the way of SAENGPHET. I think the work rate there really got that for him with 3 of those judges, but BIBOSSINOV going into that final round was well clear, and I wouldn't say necessarily boxed within himself, but just did what he needed to do. That's just a reminder of the final that we've got coming up in a minimum weight division, and that will be an interesting watch for sure. But just some highlights here of the tussle we've just had between BIBOSSINOV and SAENGPHET. SAENGPHET's best round, I thought, really was the first, because obviously everything's to play for in the first round, and I felt that he was a little bit unlucky to lose that one 4-1. He could have expected, I think, to have got a little bit more in that opening round. BIBOSSINOV had a dominant second, and then really the third round is it's a different dynamic because he knows that unless it goes badly wrong, that he's going through. He doesn't exactly have to put his foot to the floor and